Like a bolt from the blue, the Department of State Services swooped on the residences of senior judges across the country. According to the DSS, a huge stockpile of cash and documents linking the judges to exotic properties and suspected corrupt practices were recovered. The operation was carried out simultaneously in Nigeria's capital, Abuja, Sokoto, Port Harcourt, Kano, Enugu, and Gombe. The senior judges affected included Justice Muazu Pintiga, who served on the Elections Tribunal in Rivers State. And in Abuja, the homes of Justices Sylvester Nguta and John Okoro of the Supreme Court were also raided. Justice Nnamdi Dingba and Adeniyi Ademola, both of the Abuja Division of the Federal High Court, located inside the Akpo Legislative Quarters, who are also neighbors on Samuel Ogbemudia Street of the Akpo Quarters, were also raided. When Channels Television visited the homes of Justices Ademola and Dingba at the Akpo Legislative Quarters, some officials of the Nigerian Bar Association and family members were seen at the premises. But neither the lawyers nor family members were willing to speak to us on camera. They confirmed that the security operatives arrested Justice Ademola and left with case files from the house of Justice Dingba.
I called them around. I told them, I wouldn't go into this.
Justice Nnamdi Dingba recently gave a decision against the continued detention of a retired Air Commodore, Muhammad Umar. Air Commodore Umar was arrested following allegations of fraud, illegal possession of firearms, and abuse of trust. He was granted bail with a bond of 100 million naira. Justice Dingba had in his ruling ordered the DSS to release Mr. Umar or risk being committed by his court. In Kano, the home of a High Court judge, Kabiru Auta, was raided along with another residence in Enugu belonging to the Chief Judge of the state, A.I. Umezulike. The home of Justice Samia in Sokoto was also not spared in the DSS raid. In Rivers State, Governor Nyesom Wike and the police prevented the DSS from accessing the home of Justice Muhammad Liman of the Port Harcourt Division of the Federal High Court, but the operation was said to have carried on.
There appears to be an attempt to kidnap some people. And so I told my security details to arrange for security for us to move to the place. So exactly 10 minutes after 1, we got there and we saw some security agencies and we said, what is going on? And they said that they were detailed to arrest a judge. And I said, it is never heard that by 1 a.m. after 1, you are here to arrest a judge when you could as well invite the judge. If you cannot read the judge, whoever the judge is, invite the judge to the chief judge. And obviously, the judge must have to, respond to your invitation. So I pleaded with them that, look, the way the security of the state and what people have said, that it should not be appropriate at this odd hour to arrest a judge whom you have not said he's a criminal, but I just want to have a chat, according to what they said. I said, okay, why not in the morning you invite the judge to come, wherever the judge is? And they insisted that by the order they have, that they are directed to pick the judge and bring the judge over. I said, well, as the chief security officer, if I cannot at this moment say, look, it is not possible, and let us see a way that we can do things in a more civilized way. This is democracy, this is not military government. If as a governor of the state, you cannot respect and say, okay, now that the governor, the chief security officer, as they said, has advised that they should invite the judge to come, whoever the judge is, then something is wrong. And that, for me, portends danger to our democracy. And this is what we have been saying, that under a democratic government, it's not allowed. The rule of law must always take its place.
After the raids across the country involving senior members of the judiciary, an official of the DSS spoke with journalists in Abuja, stating that the operation was in connection with allegations of corruption and misconduct leveled against the judicial officers. The department insists their core mandate is to monitor what it described as the expensive and luxurious lifestyle of the judges, as well as complaints from the concerned public over judgments obtained fraudulently.
The service action is in line with its core mandate, as we have been monitoring the expensive and luxurious lifestyle of some of the judges, as well as complaints from the concerned public. The searches have uncovered huge raw cash of various denominations, local and foreign currencies, with real estate worth several millions of naira, and documents affirming unholy acts by these judges. Summaries of these include naira 93,588,000, dollars 530 and 87 dollars, pounds 25,970 pounds, euro 5,680 euros.
Wow. The arrest and raid of residencies of affected judges did not go down well with a cross-section of Nigerians in the judiciary and even governors. For the Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose, the DSS raid is a direct assault on the judiciary, stating that the nation's nascent democracy was under threat.
It is more worrisome that two of the judges involved, Justice Adeniyi Ademola and Justice Nnamdi Dingba, ruled against the DSS and condemned its impunity on the cases of former National Security Advisor, NSA, Colonel Sambo Dasuki retired, and retired Air Commodore Umar Mohammed, and one wonders if upholding the rule of law by refusing to help the DSS to sustain its reign of impunity has now become a criminal offense for which judges must be harassed, intimidated in a Gestapo manner that we are seeing today. I therefore call on all Nigerians and the international community to rise in defense of our democracy and the rule of law, which is the basis of our existence. No one will be spared by this ravaging dictatorship if we are quiet.
Please do not confuse the fight against corruption as a fight against judiciary. No, absolutely not. What the government is concerned and passionate about is to fight corruption. In the process of fighting corruption, it's not unusual that you step on some very sensitive toes. But the question to ask, and I think this has been, I would say again, adequately answered by the Attorney General, is that let's remove emotion from facts. One, do judges have immunity? The answer is no. Can judges be arrested? The answer is yes. Have judges or serving judges be arrested in Nigeria? The answer is yes. So I think we want to make it clear. Number one, this government has the highest respect for judiciary. Absolutely. Two, we are not in any way trying to ridicule the judiciary at all. Three, we are not painting the whole of the judges with the same brush. But we also have a duty to fight corruption at whatever level.
The National Judicial Council summoned an emergency meeting to discuss the arrest and detention of some federal judges by the DSS, with a promise that the council would do justice to the case.
My lords, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, not to detract from this occasion, it is indeed very saddening and deeply regrettable that the distressing and unfortunate incident which occurred on Friday, 7th October, and Saturday, 8th October, 2016, regarding the affairs of the judiciary. However, I must ask all Nigerians to remain calm and prayerful as emergency meeting, the National Judicial Council will be taking place tomorrow, will comprehensively look into the matter.
The NBA rejects these explanations and justifications that these so-called surgical operations were targeted at corruption and not the judiciary. We find it absurd that the presidency will accept assurances for the DSS that it followed all due process of the law. We maintain our position that these operations are illegal and unconstitutional. I want to reiterate that the position of the bar is not aimed at protecting any judge. We are not shielding any judges from investigation from charges of corruption. The resolve of the NBA on the fight against corruption is unwavering. We are clear that raiding houses of judges of the Supreme Court in the middle of the night by masked armed men is not the way to go. We do not accept it. This portends real danger to Nigeria's democracy. It is contrary to all civilized norms and accepted standards. The human experience, I dare say, has not shown us that there's any better or sustainable way to deal with any human problem rather than through rigorous adherence to due process and the rule of law.
The Senate President.
And from the hallowed chamber, the DSS raid is a condemnable act. The Senate called the operation draconian and without deference to the constitutional responsibility of the National Judicial Council, NJC.
Senator Emmanuel Boacha.
A member of the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Senator Joshua Lidani, coming under matters of urgent national importance, brought the matter before the Senate. His view is also shared by his colleagues.
To go in the wee hours of the morning and jump into the house of a public officer in this country and use hammer and chisel to break into such a house of any person who is a human being in this country, not to talk of a judge, is condemnable. And this is a tyranny of the highest order. Dictatorship, unguarded dictatorship. If the action over the weekend is within the envelope of normalcy, it will not have generated this situation. That is why we say law and order. So what technically it means is that something somewhere has gone wrong.
General opinion is that we will.
But for the Senate President Bukola Saraki, the fight against corruption is fully backed by the Senate. But the government must ensure that the war on corruption must be done within the rule of law.